everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Manga and Anime Podcast. I'm Jim, and I'm here with ya boy, Luke Hollywood. What up, Luke?
It's me, your boy Luke here. How's it going?
I ended up pranking you to start off the podcast.
Keeping me on my toes.
I'm trying to keep you on your toes since we are here to talk about manga, anime, and everything in between, Luke, is what we're doing here for a Manga Monday show that you ended up telling me, and I'm still going to go with it. This is full out Jason's pick. I don't care if Jason didn't pick it, that he only mentioned the anime, whatever. It's his pick. He's banned. That's all I'm telling you.
Boom.
It's his pick and he's banned now. This isn't bad. It's Ya Boy Kongming. I can't even say the title. It's not even that bad a title, but you end up having something that really is nothing.
It's your boy average is what it is.
I see a cover and not much in between is what goodness. I see in this one. But before we get into Ya Boy Kongming, let me remind everybody to go over to the Twitters and follow us at Weird Manga. Also go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Weird Science Manga, where you can help us out. Give us a little love. Make us feel like we're appreciated, right? And you could go and get a bunch of early access Manga Monday shows and as well have a bunch of early access of our reading clubs. And that's the thing about this is I think that the reading clubs will become such bangers that we can afford to have nonsense like this on the manga.
They're not all moneymakers, and not this one.
No, they're not all moneymakers. Now, with it, usually we'll say, well, it's hot off the presses. We don't know if it's good or not, so it's just thrown out there. I mean, that's where you get smartphones.
There we go, super
and stuff like that. Or maybe Earthchild, right? Not to throw shade at other books, but this is something where I was hoping it might be decent enough. Now, you told me that Jason liked it, so that already lowered the level in my mind. I right away,
no.
I'm telling you, red flags everywhere. I'm like, what is going on? Okay, so I end up looking at this, and I immediately got kind of Idol vibes.
Oh, the singings.
And then I'm like, okay, I always love the trope of some sort of person out of time.
Fish out of water.
Yelling about what is going on with today's society. And, oh my God, this horseless carriage. So that's okay. But when I ended up also, I will point out that it's not a lot of pages. And that's always good in my book. I'm like, lazy Jim likes that. So I looked. The problem is when you're lazy Jim and when you get to the end and like, boy, you needed about 100 more pages here. There just isn't much to it. That's why we're extending this intro.
Paper thin.
So we get it. I say it all the time that we're going to have the quickest. I don't know what we could squeeze out of this. I mean, the only thing that gets squeezed out ends up in a shower here. A little sus. But we're going to go into it. What is it, Luke?
This is Ya Boy Kongming, one of Jason C's favorites, apparently. Written by Yuto Yatsupas, drawn by Ryo Aragawas. I don't know if he dances on the sand, Jim, but
he might.
That is yet to be decided. First published in Comic Days magazine from December 2019 to November 2021. So Ya Boy Kongming is Ya Boy done. It's finished.
Yeah,
but I can see why. Maybe there wasn't a lot of meat on dead bones. I don't know. But 9 volumes out in Japan, 7 in the West. So we are catching up to Ya Boy in Japan. And
it's weird. I did listen to the album Rio today, by the way. That's a weird thing that you brought that up. Yeah, I did Duran's.
Old people music.
The thing, though, before you go on and finish that up, is that it's funny because anytime that there's a manga that has an anime, a new anime or whatnot, you will always tell me that we have to do it. It's a banger. And I'm always in tune with more Western deal of like, that doesn't it does translate in the deal with the manga and the anime. Maybe not so much in the podcasting world. I haven't seen as much. Like you'll say, oh my God, this is going to be this banger. And I don't know about this one. This one is going to put that to the test. I haven't heard anybody talking in the malt shop about Ya Boy Kongming. No, they're not really talking about it. What else do you have for this before we jump in?
One last thing. It has an anime adaptation by Studio PA Works or Studio Pa Works. Whatever floats your boat.
Pa Works?
Pa Works, baby. and they are working on this one this season, and that's about it. Let's jump in.
Are they a big studio?
I don't know, probably
or
not.
Is this one of those where they're like, hey, can we get a hold of that Kaiju number 8? And they're like, we don't have Kaiju number 8 money. No. We got Ya Boy Kongming money.
Is Ya Boy.
All right.
Settling for Ya Boy here.
Here's the thing. The concept of this could be okay. And this is, and usually you do this, chapter 1.
Oh my goodness.
Kongming to descend upon Shibuya.
Shibuyas.
Is what you have this. Oh my God, Shibuya. So you end up where you start off and you have some ancient Chinese deal going here. You have the China Wuzhang Plains 234 AD, or as you like to say, AD. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like, what is this?
History Channel.
Yeah, because you end up on the cover. It gives you this little bit of a different vibe. This does not look
like the History Channel. He's got the funky spectacles.
Yeah. So when you have here, the war is lost, the Chancellor, and it's Shu Imperial Chancellor Zhuge Liang, whose courtesy name is Kongming. Oh. And this is something that we haven't had yet come up as, that sort of deal, a courtesy name. I said to you that they're like, hey, I want to give you a courtesy name so that you'll remember that I'm Kongming as a courtesy. I'm like, oh, all right, King Kong.
It works.
Just go. But there it is. I think that's just informal name, nickname, something.
I don't know how it works in Chinese ancient history.
He's there. He's got his peacock feather duster right there. He looks old.
Must have fashion item of the summer.
He looks sick. He's dying. We've seen this scene where you end up where he is regretting kind of his life and hopes that, and going fully with the idea of reincarnation, that he hopes that he's reborn in a place that is peace, a world at peace. This would be the greatest thing ever, as you end up having probably the coolest panel of the entire book. And I kind of wish that it was like a color page type deal. It would have been really cool, where he says, I've lost countless allies, defeated numerous foes. And you end up having, this very classic looking deal, really cool looking. He's got a headband on.
Looks like a fantasy team. You got your warrior, you got your warrior 2 dude.
You got your other warrior. And then your other. They didn't really think this through when they made this group. Everybody's yelling they want to be the tank, and there they go. They go with it. They don't really get the quest done. But when you see that, and this is, the chapter page here where you get it. Me and you already were talking about some things, and I do not think you read ahead, right?
Nope.
Have you just read this? Are you ever going to? Luke Hollywood reads everything and buys it in both English and Japanese.
Oh, not to toot my own horn, but eventually I will.
Oh, my goodness. You think you will continue? I
think it's got legs, potentially.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. So with that, though, we were already talking about the idea that maybe some of his allies and some of his foes that they kind of show here very quickly in this deal, maybe they'll get reincarnated too. Maybe the concept will be something where you have a lot of these people, because we actually thought already, you think that's it? And it doesn't seem to be.
It seems like
but that would be kind of cool.
That seems like too good an idea to pass up, though. Am I right?
Yeah, especially because you have no idea why. Now, this is the thing.
Oh.
He's not reincarnated, because he ends up dying.
As Kongming.
Yeah, he's going to come back as the babies. He doesn't come back as the babies. He's not an idol's twin
He's his
son.
Sexiest self, Jim.
Yeah, he comes back as the younger version of him in the modern times.
Whoa.
And he ends up just kind of, boom, he's there. Now, with that, he is coming from back in the day, and he doesn't understand what's going on. So he's assuming, well, I died, which he did. Mm-hmm. And now I didn't get to heaven, hell, this must be purgatory. And again, because of reincarnation, there's the purgatory, you have to work it off, and then you get reincarnated. And he may even think they don't really go in. It's a lot of surface level deal. You don't really know. And maybe that's our problem.
We don't know the Kongmings.
I don't know about Kongming. And this could be something where, and again, you don't know much about the history of the United States.
Nope.
And I don't know jack crap about Ireland. But there, every country, every deal, you'll have that person. Like if I said, oh my God, this is Benedict Arnold, who was reincarnated, then I know that he's sus and he's a jerk and he's going to backstab people, because I know that.
Oh.
But then you tell me, Sean O'Reilly, that guy
cousin.
in Ireland. You remember him. But you know what I mean? Like, is there something we're missing that Kongming is something that is like or was he a great guy? Was he a bad? Like, is he coming into this purgatory thinking, oh man, this is because...
Is this his just desserts or what?
Because when he's dying, though, this is weird. I mean, we didn't know what angle we're going to go with talking, and now I'm intrigued. Because of the idea in his deathbed, he's saying, I just want to go and wake up, reincarnate in a place with peace. With us not know, and maybe nobody knows. Maybe this isn't even maybe he's made. But the idea that makes him seem like a good guy to me.
Well, he got his wish granted,
Yeah, but is it that he's like the worst of the worst, and he's just like, oh, that didn't work. I hope I'm reincarnated in something better because he was. I don't know.
Well,
maybe there is that disconnect.
Like this part, he thinks that he's in hell at some purgatory, but like this isn't. He's getting punished. He's being punished. He's got to work something off. He's not having fun times here. He's having bad times, even though the party life is a fun time, Chip. Exactly. Oh my goodness!
And because with that, it's Halloween night. It's really of any night. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Like any night that he could end up showing up, it ends up being Halloween night where everybody's dressed up, which throws him off. I mean, there's skeleton guys walking around what does he think? Like, oh man, I must be in purgatory because there's a bear right behind a nurse, like that looks like should be a vampire. I don't know. But he ends up where he's there. And he's like, oh my God, where am I? I must be in purgatory. He keeps repeating some of these things. And he's like, I see it now. Of course, I have to work off the steal as people are yelling Happy Halloween as if it's New Year's. I mean, everybody just yelled. What was there? A pumpkin going down, and when it hits the bottom, you yell the Happy Halloween. These two dudes,
nicest dudes in all of Shibuya.
I mean, this is like you're in the middle of a city set, and the next thing you know, these guys are just like, "Hey, buddy, you want a drink?
Let's party."
They recognize this Kongming as Kongming.
Perhaps they are Chinese history students.
That's what I'm saying. Is this something that's such a known deal?
Well known.
Oh man, ain't that Kongming? Now with that, that's where we said, like, wouldn't it have been weird if it was like some of his buddies reincarnated or something like that? But they just seem to say, man, nice costume, bro. Have some tequila. Now, I guess on Halloween in Japan, they don't really have the open container, law here. No. These guys are just going around drinking and getting drunk. I wouldn't drink out of that vampire's bottle. That's just me. But they end up where he gets it. Now, the funny thing is Kongming here, Ya Boy Kongming, he really plays it up here like my first night at college. I'd never drank before, and all of a sudden, like, hey, you want this?
Same outfit as well, pretty much.
Screw it, same deal, and same susness.
Indeed.
I ended up where he just grabs tequila, and I like that it's not sake. It's not something that he'd know what it was. No. It's tequila. He just starts drinking.
It goes down strong.
He's just guzzling it, and every step of the way, he's like, oh my God, my innards are on fire. This must be part of my punishment in purgatory. I'm like, no, you're just a drunk. And he ends up where he's chugging. I like where chug. Nice chug,
dude.
Now, the problem with this, though, and this is what I have a problem with this whole first chapter, and I would think that you're not going to change much in this vein going forward, is the idea that you're introducing these nice guys, but they're not really for any purpose.
No.
They're there to get them drunk and to get them to the next place.
They are a conveyor belt. That's it.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to know more about these. These seem like nice guys. I mean, they are pretty much gems.
We hardly knew ye, gems.
Yeah, so they are. They're a conveyor belt. Here we go. Next stop. It's like they're on the bus. Next stop, Dublin. Next stop, the club. And they go, hey, you want to come to the club? He's like, I don't know what that means. I thought he thought, what, are you going to hit me with a club? He's just like, okay, yeah, I guess that's the next layer of purgatory. And I swear, like, half the time you should just have, oh, man, you're killing me over here, Kongming. They don't even ask, though. Like, they don't even ask where he got the costume. They don't ask why. Hey, man, I haven't seen anybody dressed like Kongming in years. Or, hey, what's your real name?
Where'd you get that leaf?
Yeah, they just end up just going with it. And then they go to the club, where the club again, to me, is just a added layer of what we just saw. Everybody in the streets jumping around and walking and drinking. Then they go to the club. All it's there for is so that Kongming can hear this music. He can hear the thumping bass line. And next thing you know, it's a banger. And he ends up like, hey, Kongming, pretty nice, right? Hey, pretty nice. What do you think Kongming's doing here? He ends up the music's so loud again. Oh, I get
torture.
It. The music must be the torture. I'm like, it's like his torture. But he ends up looking at the speaker. Oh, my God, my innards are getting churned up. This must be another torture. So like, oh, my God, this torture, even in death. Oh, and then at the one point, you just have like weird scenes and weird transitions.
Who let glasses on the DJs?
I know. Look at DJ Glassy Pirate over here. Look at this dude. I mean, look at him. But you end up where this girl, then she starts singing. Me and you even had a debate of at points, is this it looks like a dance club. Sometimes it plays off like a strip club. Then it's not.
A little saucy. I know it's Halloween, but, that's a saucy outfit.
I don't get the exact deal of what's going on, because this girl then starts singing. She's jumping around. She's singing. And this is one of those, again, too. She's dressed up as a devil. It fits the whole idea of what Kongming thinks is going on. Sees this girl, seems to be smitten. There's sparks all over, right? She starts singing, and he says a songstress of purgatory. A songstress of purgatory. How dazzling. And he's really like, oh my God, this is the greatest. I've never heard this type of music before. This is awesome. Oh my God, this is far from hellish. I'm not used to it, but I kind of like it. And you have like Kongming just walking around this club. This girl gets done, and she ends up going up to the bar and says to old Patch there, hey, nobody was really listening. Now, with that, I wasn't even so sure that she's there to sing all the time, or is she more of a worker that gets to go up there?
I don't know.
You don't get anything.
You don't see much singing in the club, usually. I don't know what type of club this is.
Like, I thought that it was like one of those, maybe she's like a bartender and they allow her to go up and do a set. She does the
singing on the side. Well, maybe when Glasses is feeling it, they get a little funky.
Because she says to the bartender, no one's listening to my set. Maybe I don't actually have the chops for singing. Oh. He says, that's not true. You're working hard.
Now go wash the dishes.
Or hardly working.
Bada bing.
Yeah, also, you got to go wash the dishes out. And he's there, of course, because he's a bartender. He's doing the classic where it looks like he's cleaning the glasses.
Glasses need cleaning.
It's the worst. I don't even want to... Wash them other place. I don't need your stinking hanky in my glass. I hate that.
Delicious.
But you end up where she's like, oh, man, talent is one thing, but you can't get talent from working hard. Now, with that, in a weird, crazy way, later Kongming says that you can get talent from working hard. Whoa. But what's the connection here? Because this is Aiko. You end up finding out her name, and she's kind of a singer, and she's there. Well, you end up having Kongming come over and says, your splendid voice has left me sorely impressed, my lady. And she goes, thanks. And he says, to think a songstress of purgatory would be so divine. Come, I wish to experience more of purgatory's delights. Allow me to command the armies of the dead to battle against the many spirits of the underworld.
He's talking crazy.
All right. Yeah, he's talking crazy. And that's what the play's going to be. That's the whole
Too
play
much tequila, old man.
Young girl who thinks drunk old man sus and yelling nonsense. But she doesn't, it doesn't seem like she's like, oh man, like somebody dressed like she doesn't seem to recognize what that would be or whatever. And even then, you want to get the feel that she's like, a younger girl. She's into the music. She's a singer. And like her way of life and her world will never mix with the ancient Chinese chancellor.
Clubbing and Chinese just don't mix.
I don't get enough of her in this to go with. But also, I'm telling you, if you're going to have Kongming, this ancient Chinese chancellor, like this guy really adapts quickly to what's going on.
He's moving with the times. He's moving and shaking.
Even at that one point where he's like, I'll get the armies of the undead. And like, he didn't really deal with that. He just, I must be in purgatory. Let's go. This must be a trial. Oh my God, tequila. That's it. That's one of the tortures, whatever.
He lives in the moment.
he's yelling nonsense. Then he blushes. But you end up where you don't even have him bumping into people and like, I will have your head. Like all the classic things that you would do.
But you see, that might be because he's the nice Kongming. We don't know.
I don't know. At one point, I wanted him up there scratching with the records. Who knows? But yeah, one. Well, you end up where he's there and he's all like, hey, I'd like to talk to the songstress. She's like, get out of here, you boozy old man.
Jeez.
And then these dudes come up again, Mummy and Vampire. They come up and like, whoa, hey, Kongming, we found you. Let's go drinking. This has always annoyed me going out with people. So the idea, you're already at a place you can drink. Well, what are you talking about?
You go to another place.
You brought me to this club. Why do I have to go to that other club or bar to drink? Where they got the guy's washing the glasses right now.
They're ready to go.
He doesn't know. Or where is the idea that a Kongming, because he was like he could just grab whatever the hell he wants? I'm not saying that's us. I mean more drinks. But he's like, hey, and he starts demanding things, and then they laugh at him. But he's just kind of there. And he just kind of goes with the flow. So they go out. But again, these guys, Mummy and Vampire, they are just to get the story going again, the conveyor belt to get us to the next deal. Because then you have this Aiko. She says, hey, I'm leaving now. Don't really get a sense of time. But he's like, hey, thanks for the help. What was she doing? What help? Did she clean up afterwards? I don't
doing the dishes.
If she was the singer, it just felt weird. But it's just for her to go, and there's, the once great Kongming is passed out in an alley, probably peed his pants. And he ends up, hey, he's got a smile on his face there. And she goes, man, that guy. So she's like, hey, wake up. It's morning. Like, what help was she doing all night?
All night doing them dishes.
I don't get it. I don't know. But he's like, oh, that splendid voice. He recognizes her. She takes him home. But the play here is we don't know that until after we get, the obligatory sus page here.
Bada bing. Is this a Akashi triangle?
I see cheek, and everything in between.
It's pretty cheeky. Oh, jeez.
It is very cheeky.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. You have a little steam to hide the precious parts. But still, even then, she's really like it. This is like, she must be making the sound that occasionally you do during the podcast. All
I'm saying is anybody wearing a hat like that, I'm not bringing it to my apartment. No way.
It was Halloween, but
anything
still.
Goes. Here's an old man, but that doesn't make it any better.
And the funny thing is, as this goes on, he realizes he is a younger, sexier self. To me, I stop at hat schmat. I'm not bringing anybody home. I mean, a guy passed out in the alley, that's a guy who really, I know, makes great decisions. Yes. Come on.
Responsible adult.
Immediately give him all of my bank account information. Tell him now he's my manager.
Bada bing.
You get the idea that eventually he probably will become her manager, right? I mean, he is a hype man too, where he loves it. So she's taking a shower. She comes out. He's awake. Staring
at the window, and I really, after this panel, he could turn around with a knife for all we know.
I mean, seriously,
this is a nice apartment. I think I'll take it. He
does the classic, call an ambulance, but not for me, and ends up stabbing her. And even with that, like, he doesn't have any other clothes or anything. I actually thought that she was going to give him an outfit or something.
New threads.
Even in this, like, again, she's there. She's a singer, right? You end up where you have to see the guitar right away because she's going to play that.
She plays that.
Like, everything seems like that kind of
setup.
Like, okay, the only thing in this room is a guitar and a bunch of pictures she cut out of magazines of some idol groups and things like that.
Blackpink.
That's all it is. And it looks like she's more into, like, the BTS. But you end up where, hey, you're awake? Yes, I am. I hope this anime's better. I don't. Jason, he's banned. But, the Purgatory Songstress. It's you. You brought me here. Yeah, I did. Now get the hell out. I mean, she starts getting to the point of, you're sus. Get out of here. What the heck's wrong with you? Because he says, I died. This is purgatory. And she's like, no, it isn't. Because she says, actually, I saved your life. I think that's a stretch. I mean, the
He's
idea
going
that
to
she ended
freeze
up,
to death.
I think that she's trying to get some money. She's extorting him here, saying, hey, I
Give
saved
me your
life.
hat.
She already said it was the morning. So the cold part, that might be gone by then.
Sun's
Like
shining.
the sun's rising here. And unless you're a demon like Nezuko, you're fine, right? Little shout out. But you end up where she says, I saved your damn life. Oh, and he's like, oh, you stupid wench. How could I die when I'm already dead?
I'm already dead.
Even that, like the idea of this young girl who likes the singing and the EPDM, whatever, I don't know if that's a drug or the music. You end up where she says, you're going to freeze to death. I got you. And he says, oh, you jest. How could I freeze to death when I'm already in purgatory? So he's saying this to this almost like a gal type deal here. And she says, what the heck's wrong with you, man? This ain't the afterlife. Like, that's such a weird response from somebody. Like, really, get
out of my house.
Are you still drunk? Why? What are you wrong in the head? Jeez. Like, the idea of like,
I'm calling the police.
Because it's kind of basic. And so she ends up, and then also you get to see the posters and things on the wall, and I'm like, am I supposed to know who Cure is?
My favorite band, Cure.
You know what it is there. If you look, there's Robert Smith. It is the Cure.
Oh.
But they couldn't use that, so they changed the letters around. Because I see Robert Smith right there in the beginning. That's ridiculous. That's actually the Cure for dyslexic people.
Oh, yes.
You didn't know that. It's the song of I'm Love Friday M. That's their big hit. But yeah, he's like, where am I? There's guitars around. And then all of a sudden, he's like, unbelievable. I looked in the mirror and I'm sexy.
My sexiest self. Whoa.
He's like, oh my God. Probably thinking, I can't believe you could keep your hands off me during that night because I can't keep my hands off myself.
This is a great Halloween outfit. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and she's like, that's a mirror, dude. She says a lot of my man.
Dudes.
In this. Oh, my man, dude this, my man that, ya boy this. And it starts to get a little...
It's the language of the youth.
It makes me think that that's what they think. It's like, oh, all the kids down at the rec center say, your boy and my man.
I've never heard somebody say that in real life.
They're going to show, what's up? They're going to do all the things. All of a sudden, he's like, where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Like, oh my God. All the kids say that. But he looks in the mirror and she's like, and this is where we're going to get that trope. Oh my God, what? Even then he goes, unbelievable. I've regained my youth. What manner of sorcery is this? And then she goes, that's a mirror, dude. Like, that isn't what I would expect. From somebody. Again, like you said, what I'd expect is I've already dialed 9-1 and I'm about to hit the other one. Get the hell out of here before the cops show up. But yeah, she's like, she adapts very quick to sus guy.
The two of them are giving each other a lot of time that probably they wouldn't be giving each other in real life.
They're taking a lot of time from my life. Me reading this is what because I don't need it. No. I want to get character
It feels like we could be moving here when we're covering the same bases for pages and pages.
And I think it's fun sometimes to have that trope, but the idea of what is this mirror that you call? I mean, that's something.
That trope doesn't last for this many pages, you know? Or when nothing else, there's nothing else to carry that, you know?
Unless the horseless carriage comes by or you turn on a TV. Those are my favorites. See, how do you keep these little people in this box? How dare you?
We gotta let them out.
That's some of my favorites. Not,
how dare
oh my God, the mirror, because the big play here is he's younger. But then she's yelling, you're dumb, that's a mirror. Not even asking, like, you never saw a mirror before? No, because he thinks, again, the play, is this clever? The only mirror that he would have ever had of like this would be a reflection in like a stream or a pond. So that's why he says the watery like reflect. But still, seriously, I'd love to look. Something tells me they had some sort of mirrors or something. But he's like, oh my God, hey, look. And then he remembers I died, and his heart's beating there and
he's
kind of
still alive.
I'm alive now. Oh my God.
It took you how many pages to figure that out? Jeez.
I know. And then he's like, I did that. He just, I have a heart beat hearting, a heart beating. See, now I have dyslexia. And he's like, oh my God. And even this, the big play, impossible. I died at Fusang Plains. Even the Kimen Dunjia never revealed a spell that could revive the dead. And I'm like, everybody knows that.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? I mean, how silly can you be?
Come on now.
I didn't know. But yeah, you have all this going, and then he says, okay, well, I guess I'm good to go. She says, if you're sobered up by now, get the hell out of here. She wants him out. Why did she bring him back?
Why bring him in the first place?
The way he's talking, I would suggest that he's far from sober of what you're thinking of this
that
nonsense.
Leaf is a lethal weapon.
Yeah, and somehow he's so drunk, he doesn't know what a mirror is. He starts giggling, which makes it worse.
Alarm bells.
The idea, like, listen,
DEFCON
I'm kind of
4.
scared of you. You have to leave. I'm like, all right. And she goes after him. Yo, and here's her deal. Yo, dude, you're not thinking about anything freaky, are you?
Yeah, boy, keeping it PG-13 up in here.
He's giggling, right? He's just like, seriously, she better get out of there. But he says, my apologies, young lady. I just had a thought. I've retained my knowledge and experience. Thus, in this lifetime, I may continue to pursue my goal of unification, bringing peace to the world's people.
Very good.
He doesn't know what this world is. Like, the idea that he's saying this of like, oh my God, plus, what? I guess maybe that's the joke. His knowledge isn't going to do jack crap here in any sort of modern deal. Like, what does he know? And it's the opposite. If you're from the future, and you come back, you might know I know how to make this, or we ended up doing that, or I can bet on that team. You don't know nothing. And she ends up stopping because of that. Again, she should be like, you are insane. But he says, my apologies for late introduction. My family name is Zuji, given a name Liang. My courtesy name is Kongming.
Whoa.
All right. Well, we got that right away. And she's like, hey, I'm Aiko Tsukimi, and you can call me Aiko. All right. So we're at almost the end. And we just get introductions, and then she says, hey, you don't have a like even that, hey, you don't have a wallet or a smartphone, which shows that she did try to rob him.
Or get the IDs, you know.
There's no way that she would know this. She was trying to roll him over. That's why, I guess, when she brought him back, maybe she was going to hold him hostage. I don't know.
Cha-ching.
So now we're going to get the trope again where she's like, hey, what's wrong? Oh, I don't know what is this smartphone you speak of? And the reaction to a ancient chancellor of China grabbing a smartphone and just like, oh my God, there's pretty pictures. It's not enough.
But this could be this could be the same reaction to everything. It's that same
My
expression.
reaction to this would be like, this is the devil's hand. What are you doing here? Like, this seems like there's not even he says, what is this? A scripture of some sort. The words appear and disappear without a trace. Why doesn't he think like, oh my God, what magic is this? Are you a grand wizard? Are you
touch it and make things go? Such
detailed art in such minuscule form. And then she goes, how old are you geezer? I'm like, really? Like, you're not doing much here. And then she hands him, hey, have some water. And he yells, oh my God, this water is in the cicada husk. What? I'm like, really?
What were they doing in China?
Here are the tropes that you have. This smartphone is some scripture, but it disappears. Oh my God, the water bottle is a cicada husk. Oh my God, that thing on the wall with the arms going around all wacky. Like, of all the things you have in this trope, looking at a clock and saying, oh my God, it moves by itself. It's not very exciting. It's like the worst of them, or the water bottle. Like, what's going on here? So yeah, and then he sees a humidifier and thinks it's like a dragon. Oh no. Like, even then he doesn't run like he thinks it's on fire or anything. He's like, smoke's coming from there. I must douse it. Okay.
With
hey,
the waters.
My man, let's go. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happens.
I don't know. Like, does he start scuba diving? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's happening there. I really don't. And he's like, hey, Lady Aiko, what could this be? And she goes, I don't even know about that one.
Me neither.
I thought maybe I looked. Does he have Mustache Rides 50 Cent shirt on or something? I don't know what's going on here. I'm looking at him like, I don't know what's happening. So he's like, oh, unbelievable. This place is great. There's still so much I need to learn. He falls down on the ground. He's like, Lady Aiko, you may have to teach me the world of the smartphone.
The ways.
And she's like, oh, what a pain. Hell no. But then does it. I don't get it.
I thought the cops were on their way. Come on, lady.
Yeah, they should be. At one point, she seems more interested until she finds out he doesn't have a job. And I'm like, oh, you gold digging jerk. she ends up, okay, well, here's what we do. We learn these things he wants to learn. He wants to make the world a place of peace.
And he's going to show her the way of the talents. They're going to teach each other.
Yeah, and he says you can try hard to be, talented, and that kind of rings with her. So he's going to do this. So you end up in the joke here. It's just the idea of, okay, teach me the ways of the smartphone. And then time goes by and he's like, I don't get what the blockchain is. Really? This is what we're doing? This is it? This is what we're doing?
Banger.
I'm like, oh, God, not a banger. Oh, my God. It's just not great. It's almost what I would expect from something in like a Western comic by like a Mark Russell.
Oh, that's shade. Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
people,
geez.
if you don't listen to the other podcasts, you don't realize the amount of shade that I'm throwing right
shade.
now. It's the idea of coming up with like, oh, it'd be kind of neat if an ancient Chinese chancellor ended up running into a phone and had to learn what a blockchain was. Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm chuckling inside. And that's all you got.
It's the same joke over and over and over.
Yeah, it's over and over. And it wasn't funny the first time.
Oh.
So when he's like, oh, what's a blockchain? She's like, I've had enough. You've asked 4 straight hours of fun. Yeah, that's what he said he was going to. What do you think he's going to do?
That's part of the deal.
Even at this point, why isn't that she hasn't looked up a thing and realized, oh, my God, you look just like this guy who you say you are. But how could that be? Because it takes him to then look himself up like a pretentious prick and go on to it's like you there, Luke, Hollywood, you're typing it in.
Wikipedia.
Nobody looked for me today except the police. And then he ends up saying, like, oh my God, that's the only interesting thing is that when he looks and he's like reminiscing about the good old days.
You get a bit of feels,
Yeah, and even the idea like he's like, oh man, I wonder what happened after I did die. Did they end up doing what we had set up? But we don't really know what that is. Again, is there that disconnect? But he is kind of sad. He's like, oh, crap, everything fell apart. None of it worked. Oh, so he wants to kind of, I think in my mind, the way this sets up here is he does end up thinking he's here with that purpose. He wasn't able to do it back in the day when he died. He wants this world peace. You ended up having 50 Cent, knew all along that you have to go to the club.
That's where world peace is.
She's like, that Kongming guy, even that Kongming guy, he's from ancient China, isn't he? But you can speak Japanese. That don't make no sense.
What the heck?
And then he says, you know what? I don't know what the hell's going on.
You just cracked the code.
They laugh and go. And in my mind, I always play it off like these sort of things. This is this like stream of thought going on as you're writing. You can't go back and change anything. So you're writing like,
it is what it is.
By the way, Luke, why does this guy be able to speak Japanese? He's from China. You're like, oh, crap. Let's just mention it and get on with it. Like, as long as we mention it, they'll know that we know it was an F up.
That'll do. That's chapter 2 problems.
So he says, I think I understand everything because this was preordained. All right. We'll go with that. We'll go with that, right? And then, according to the wiki, you should have been dead a long time ago, my man. Yeah. I think like that's the big, what is this, a surprise here? What, is this the twist? Oh, really?
Are we in ancient China?
There's a weird thing when you're writing, I think, comics, manga, TV, Dear Diary.
Oh.
Whatever you're doing is, there's that weird deal where you can't go too far. Once you have established something to the reader, I know that you have characters in a book. The most important thing in the story, though, is the reader, because you have to impress them. So when they know something for so long, that at the end then you go, oh, and have the character come up with, unless you're playing that the character is that dumb, there's no reason for that, because we know this.
The code is already cracked.
There's other ways to get this idea of, like, her joking. Like, maybe you get the idea, she's like, man, I never thought that I'd be dealing with a 50-year-old guy, but you're 380. Oh, my goodness. Something weird or whatever. But she's like, you should have been dead a long time, man. I'm like, all right there. She's like the girl version of both Bill and Ted in this, where I'm like, and with less likability. Do you know anything about, like, do you get the idea that you like either of these characters?
No.
Do you get that you know anything about them? It's nothing,
I feel
right?
like they are on for nearly 3 times as many pages as the nice dudes, the vampire and the mummy.
Guys.
But it's still the same level of, like, I feel like I know them just as much as these two.
Yeah, just as much. And they knew, at least by look, of Kongming. Well, they did too. They were partiers. That's right. Party hardy, they do. But Kongming, they knew him. They saw, oh my God, it's Kongming. You had an opportunity there to actually present a little bit of the character, even through a narration to a guy. Oh my God, why would you dress up as Kongming? That guy exterminated 3 countries. Oh my goodness. Or, man, Kongming, not everybody knows he was a nice dude. Something like that. Like, get something going on with these instead of character work. We're getting reactionary work of Kongming. What is this blockchain? That's why it's infuriating to me, because that you're telling really bad jokes instead of giving character work. Is this anime? How long has this anime been out? Is it just starting?
Just this season.
Has it been out yet? Are all episodes? Because I need to watch this and see if anything
probably on like
changed.
7 or 8 episodes.
Okay. Anybody but Jason watching this thing?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, is it popular?
I think it's the sleeper hit of the season so far. Sleeper hit. We're still snoozing.
I fall asleep and it feels like I've been hit across the face with the stupid board. But no, he ends up saying, oh man, let me look at that. Looks like I'm pretty famous on the Wikipedia, and it says this, and he does end up going, and hey, he's reading down, the Yellow Turban Rebellion, the Battle of Gondu, the Battle of Red Cliff. So this is how word of these battles passed down to the current date. So that's kind of a neat idea, where he finds out that those battles were pretty big, and this is a way, almost in my mind, like you would have storytellers back in the day that would, in the court telling these. Now you have the smartphone, which he really, really can use so quickly. If I went right now to my mother and said, hey, here's the smartphone, blockchain, now look up a podcast, she'd be like, a podcast? What is that? Something made of peas? Like, she'd have no idea. And I'd be like, you're stupid, Mom.
He could do the scrolling. He could do everything.
He's everything. So she says, hey, I got to go wash my face and prep for work. And then he keeps reading. In the year 2000 or 216, Cao Cao became the king of Wei. In the same year, I mean, you're just saying
history
words here, but he's like November 263. November?
Oh,
is this something we're supposed to know? I feel like I'm missing something, because then it says shoe crumble. Sounds like a pretty cool topping for a pie or something. Hey, pass me the shoe crumble.
This feels like the first chapter we've done where we forgot to do our homework, and now we're sitting in class scratching our head.
That's always my excuse. Hey, why didn't you go running today? My shoe crumbled.
Oh,
like, you're the piece of crap.
Attention.
So with that, he's like, oh, it did fall. Oh my, let me look outside. 1,800 years have passed now. I'm not familiar with anything going on. The people, all my allies, friends, are all gone. I'm getting sad. And then Aiko comes out from washing her face and putting on her makeup and says, what's wrong? And he's like, looks sad. And she's like, you know what always picks a guy up? Me strumming the tunes. I'm like, no, it doesn't. I can't stand it. I'm telling you right now. And I was in a band. And I love music.
Not to toot your own horn.
The worst is to have somebody sitting there playing a guitar and singing to only you in a room.
When you're trying to stare out the window.
You have to pretend that you like it, even if it stinks, number one.
Oh.
And then you're like, what? Like, you start thinking you got to like tap your foot or start dancing. It's very
Clap
uncomfortable.
Your hands. Oh, you get the castanets.
Usually the person doing this does not close their eyes. They are looking at you for approval.
That's very awkward.
You're just like, yeah.
Feel the beat.
You're off beat. You start trying to sing along, but unfortunately they're singing some crap song that they wrote, so
you're
you don't know
key.
it.
Oh,
My God, then you realize that they just rhymed like shoe with shoe, and you're like, that is awful.
Crumbled.
And you're like, what is this? What is this song? So she starts playing. And he like looks over. She's hey, I like how she's counting down for her own thing to play. You don't need a countdown if you're the only one playing. The countdown is to get everybody in time to go with you. What is he, the one-man band over there with the...
Yeah, he plays the leaf.
He's doing that. He gets out the cheese grater. He's doing that. What is going on in there? Yeah, I didn't think we are going to have much to talk about. 1, 2, 3. Hit it, boys. I'm surprised she's not like, hey, over there, the blender, this one's in C. Follow me for the changes. Bring the Stairway to Heaven. Also, what she should be doing is like playing Stairway to Heaven. And then when you end up having Kongming's like, oh my God, that's the greatest song. Did you write it? Hell yeah, I did.
Boom.
Here, listen to this other ditty I came up with. It's called Let It Be. Starts playing. Oh my. But yeah, he looks over. Oh my God. I also like the idea because in my mind, if you end up having any sound effect for a guitar playing and it's blong, 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 you ain't doing it right.
Yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to sound.
I mean, this is me picking up a guitar. Cling, cling, start just doing nonsense.
Wing, and blong, blong. That's my favorite guitar riffs.
Thank God she closes her eyes. Because I'm telling you, she would be looking for approval, and I don't like to be put pressure on me like that.
She's going to be sorely disappointed.
It's as bad as, do I look good in this outfit?
Uh-oh. Say nothing.
Listen there, Tanya. If you had to ask me if you look good, then you don't. You know it. You're just trying to make me lie.
Oh,
Stop it.
Oh, jeez.
So she's playing. Starts getting a little sus. But I'm telling you, you better not, open those legs. So she ends up where she's playing this, and he hears the words that we don't, and then says, why are we getting words? He says, this must be a song dedicated to one's beloved.
It turns into P for a minute. We get the piano guitar vision.
We don't realize she's actually playing Every Step You Take about stalking is what she's doing. But he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know what sting, tantric sex is. So he ends up like, oh, this must be a song dedicated to lovers. Kongming, and it's PPP. Yeah, it almost feels like, he goes back in time. What are these guys? I don't even get the concept of this.
We've seen these guys twice now, and they're
we saw them at the beginning.
Best buddies from beyond the grave. She plays the guitar again. They're going to come out of the guitar. She has the time traveling music.
She does, and so what is it? I mean, what is the idea here? It's like, hey, Kongming, let's go and fight. What are we fighting? Susness and meanness, because we're the warlords of happy. I don't know what come on, guy, let's go off and make everybody love each other. I don't get it.
If they conquered the world for universal peace, does that not make them bad guys? If they're taking over everything?
Basically, in my mind, that is what a dictator tries to justify they're doing,
like
right?
Some shenanigans.
I know some guy like in the 30s and 40s that might have thought that he was trying to unite the world in what he thought was his best
He had
version.
a funny mustache too,
yeah,
didn't he?
Did. He did. Kongming's like, oh, I see these guys. Oh my God, the song, it brings me joy. This is the greatest. You're the best.
Tears in his eyes.
She's like, I'm an amateur. I'm not really a pro. He's like, whatever. Does that mean you're still training? He seems to, he understands it, but he doesn't. So she's like, oh my God, we got to go. But before we do, I want you to hear the EDM, the trance, and the hip hop. He's like, what did you just call me? I mean, the idea that you're telling a guy from, ancient China, hey, you got to hear the EDM, the trance, and the hip hop. He's like, I don't know what the hell you're saying.
What type of flute is this?
Even then, he looks at the phone. This EDM music starts playing. I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't drop it and starts to, try to stomp it out or something. But he's like, this is weird, and I like this flute. What's this? It's EDM. The singer is quite skilled. You don't even know. I guess maybe you can figure out. Blackpink. But he ends up where, okay, then she's like, let me bend over, get sus. And by the way, do you have a job? No. Oh, no, you're the worst. You're going to have to get a job with me. We're going to go off for an interview, but it's with my boss. Don't embarrass me, you jerk. So they end up going off. She doesn't even in this point say, like, where's the thing where is she gone and where he goes? Because she says, okay, we're going to go to the interview. Then they're halfway down the freaking city street and she goes, you seriously going to wear that? What else is he going to wear? What else does he have? He was staying at your apartment. He doesn't have anything else.
What was plan B?
Why didn't they do fashion show?
You could have had such a good fashion show.
Why couldn't you have gone out there? And I mean, I'm talking, he's in crazy clothes and he's doing this. Why wasn't that the play? Why do I not know that she doesn't have money, does have money? I have no idea. So it could be the idea, oh, well, we'll go, I didn't tell you, but I'm rich. She has an apartment. I don't know anything about that, anything of this. And then she says, you're seriously going to wear that? She's been with him every second.
What is he going to wear?
Where did she run out of the apartment, run halfway across town, and then somehow said, why wouldn't she? He's been standing next to her the whole time.
You really bringing that leaf?
He has to have been following. He doesn't know the lay of the land. She's going to her job, so he must have left the apartment with her, walked down into the street, walked behind her, and then suddenly she turns around and goes, you're going to wear that?
Still wearing them clothes, I see.
Yeah. Well, what is he going to do? Go nude? And then she's like, oh, man, my boss is crazy scary. No, we don't. We don't know anything about I don't even know what your actual job is. I said to you, I don't know if she's actually being employed to be a singer. She said she's an amateur. Part of being a pro is getting paid. So what was she doing at the club? What is her work? Was that just something she goes and hangs out and they let her go on stage? She seemed to be working there. I don't know. Hey, he's scary. Okay, well, out of nowhere, Kongming looks over and goes, I think the stars are on my side tonight.
Very good.
What? What are you saying?
And he's got a CV. Whoa. Did he learn how to type? How many words per minute? Jeez.
So then he says, here we go. We're at the BB Lounge. Here's where I go. I'm expecting straight up strip club, but that's me.
Oh.
And, and he starts dancing for ladies' night. That's Thursday night, I think. But he ends up there like, let us be off then to the enemy camp they call interview. Anything you set up makes that sentence and how he says that so complete and ridiculous nonsense. Like he hasn't been he has already been on a phone learning a blockchain. And now you're going to go fully and pull it all the way back to out of touch chancellor of China. We're past that. He just listened to EDM music and was going, oh, my God, this is pretty good. I like this one. And now it's back to old time speak. And she says, oh, man, like, here's the progression. My boss is crazy scary, so don't say anything weird in front of him. Turn on the conveyor belt because that's where we're heading. Let's go to the enemy camp called interview. Oh, that's what I was telling you about. What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
It's just that. I'm like, this sucks. What's the deal? This is not good.
Jason C. confirmed for not a banger, I'm afraid.
No, he's banned. He's banned so much that I think that I'm going to give him crap when we do the Marvel podcast. This is going to carry over into everything. He does the anime corner. If he does, maybe the anime's better. It has intrigued me to go watch it. I'm going to, I feel like
this is one of those where this bit is covered in the first 10 minutes of that episode, and then they get to the good stuff.
I'm thinking maybe there's good stuff. I also think that if you end up doing an anime based on this, you're going to be able to fill in some blanks with the anime.
You're going to cut to the chase a lot quicker.
You might fix some of these things because this first chapter, you're getting the things that are usually intriguing or fun, and you're not using them. You're centering on random moments and ideas,
nonsense,
fragments of a story, things like that. I mean, what is the connection? I wish that you had some sort of connection with him and music back in the past, and maybe what we have going forward. You would hope that maybe we have flashbacks of his old life and we see some more of that. Because we don't really know anything about him. We have no idea what's going on.
Nothing about him, nothing about her, nothing about the skeleton and the mummy.
Connections of them, that guy, those guys. I hope those guys just randomly show up at points. Hey, yo, dude. And that's, again, he'll never change out of that outfit in my mind. He'll just be like that. And you have, the funniest thing would be you'd have the fashion show. Boom, 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 outfit. And then you come out where then she says, oh, man, you're wearing the same things. He's like, yeah, that's what I kind of like. Like something like that. Like the last outfit, he comes out with his own Kongming outfit. And they're like, yeah, I guess that's how you look better. But get rid of that feather fan. Like something.
No way.
You get nothing. You just don't get anything here. So what would you give it?
I'm going to go with a flat 7.
I'm going 5.
Oh.
And I could go lower.
I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
You're giving it more than the benefit of the doubt. You're giving it a lot of benefit of nothing.
I like that page in the shower.
Yeah, really. If I went, I could even go 4. I'm telling
really?
you, it's not good, but that does give it the opportunity that if it does get better, that then you really improve and you could really be, hey, that first chapter was down.
Yeah, boy, don't impress me much.
This boy ain't gonna be doing it. I mean, I'm not gonna be there. I'm like, I'm done, ya boy, my man. I'm out. And
ya boy out.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever read anymore. It's funny too because I was telling Andrew in Belfast that we were doing this, and I don't know if he ended up going and reading the first chapter or not, but I'd like to hear what he said because he just ended up, he's reading everything he can get his hands on, and he's liking almost everything because when you first start to, it's so awesome, and you do start with bangers, so you end up, oh my God, that's great, that's great.
Are they all bangers?
There's always like the thing is Chainsaw Man I always bring up was the first thing I read and got hooked on. But then you have to think in your mind, like, what was that first one that I realized, everything's not so great. And I don't remember. Was that maybe with us? Was it Candy Flurry for me at that point? Or one of those? I don't know. Because I remember us really not, like, really going off on that one. And we hadn't done that. And I think even then I said, man, people are going to realize that we're not all.
It's got to be I Tell C Chapter 1.
I Tell C might have been because me and you were arguing a lot.
That's where we had Civil War. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
we did. I was right. I ended up being right.
Eventually, you were right.
Seriously, though, of the ones that I said after one chapter that this will be canceled prematurely, I think I'm 100% right. I think I've always been right. Hoodies, Nehru, a lot of those. I don't think I had the code. I don't know if I do anymore.
Ball?
Yeah, we don't. You don't really get to do that. It'd be funny. We're in the middle of the One Piece Reading Club, chapter 12, and I'm like,
I don't think this can last. This ain't got legs.
U19.
God,
no, we can't do that. But with all of that, yeah, really, and even that's going well. So everybody, please go over to the Twitters at Weird Manga. Follow us, we'll follow you back. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Weird Science Manga. Also, if you could, subscribe, rate, and review, and especially rate and review the podcast. We got one in the past bunch of weeks, and I got all excited. But that's, something if you like the show. I hate to say, or if you don't, I'm not going to tell them how to live their life. But if you want to help us out and give us a review, because that does end up getting people, more eyes on it in the rankings and things like that, though. Doing pretty good in the rankings.
Not to toot our own horn.
I'm throwing it out there to all those other podcasts. They don't realize.
Step up.
They don't realize the battle that they're in between them and us.
A one-man war.
It's all in my head, but it's a battle. Just a battle, right? I'm like a modern-day Kongming.
Oh.
I'm here ready to unite the world and just get rid of you. That's what I do. So there you go. But yeah, everybody check that out and give us a rate and reviews. Also, we have our Reading Club podcast.
We sure do.
You don't know about that. I don't know who's showing up for this one and not knowing what else we do. I mean, this has to be just listened to by the people who already have, us on their deal.
The Ya Boy Kongming dedicated fan club.
I'm not getting the idea that Ya Boy Kongming is the, oh my God, I got to subscribe. Then they go and listen because you would think that the people coming to listen to it are fans. And they're right now, they want to kill us. They're ready to just run us out of town.
Oopsies.
But maybe if you like it and there's a reason and it gets better later, don't give me the idea. I don't need anybody telling me that this first chapter was great because I will not listen to you. If you say that, you have lost my respect, is what I say. Rate and review, everybody. Rate and review. Yeah, it'd be nice. And also, just as a shout out, we started our own little independent by itself YouTube channel. And that is on YouTube at the A Weird Science Manga and Anime. You can just look it up and you'll find it. And I have plans, big plans.
Oh, big dreams.
It's funny because this is going to go on as a, early access. So 10 weeks from now, those plans will all be ditched. But I'm still going to say the idea that I thought if you had the YouTube channel and a podcast, you can play it like almost like a Shonen Jump and a Jump Plus.
Cover
like you
all
could have
the
different
bases.
things going, and maybe something goes there and shifts to there.
Ooh.
I had some ideas, but we'll see. And the funny thing is as I say that, the YouTube really should be the Shonen Jump. the podcast should be the plus because more people go on the YouTube.
Who listens to the podcast?
I mean, Kongming.
Maybe.
He doesn't know. He's an old dude. But that's that. Let's get out of here. Look, I'm getting really tired. We thought this was going to be 25 minutes. It was not.
Oops.
See, when things, you get that. The worst is when we do
goofy.
get one that is just boring. And then
we make our own fun.
Yeah, we had some fun. So thanks, everybody. Thank you for joining me, Luke. And yeah, we'll talk to everybody next Monday.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.